She currently working as the Faculty of Management Studies and SRM University. Her area of research includes work-family conflict, stress, leadership and communication, etc. Dr. Singh has more than 30 research papers, case studies, book chapters on her credit published in national international journals. She has 16 plus years in experience in industry and academia. Now I request to Dr. Kavita Singh to deliver her lecture on subject-specific ethical issues, FTP and authorship. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Reena, for such a good introduction. I really appreciate the way you have introduced me, and I am very thankful to the Baba Masnath University for organizing this workshop for 4 weeks. So really, it's a good thing for all the researchers and the people who are into this field. So today I'll be discussing about publication misconducts. It's a matter of concern. That's why a subject named Research and Publication Ethics has been introduced by UGC for all the researchers, and so that they can understand that what exactly research and the publication misconduct is. So we need to be very careful while doing the research in different areas. Today, as I am discussing this, before this, you have gone through the various things related to publication aspects. So this is a very crucial part that we should not be use unethical practices and behaviors which occur during the process of publishing and academic researches. During the researches, we should not go for any getting into the unethical practices or the behaviors. It can be the academic research or the scientific research. In all the cases, this is harmful, and this is nothing but called as the publication misconduct. These misconducts can be found in the different forms like plagiarism, fabrication, falsification, and the authorship. These are some of the things which are getting into very important nowadays, because if you are prompting or trying to do these things, definitely sooner or later you'll be caught up and you may get the penalties or the punishment for the same. As we are aware that research ethics is having or gaining a importance nowadays, and it started after Second World War only, due to some the misconducts which were being conducted during that time. So research ethics is nothing but it is a set of principles or the guidelines that govern the conduct of research. It means कि जब हम कोई भी research कर रहे हैं, we have to follow certain principles and guidelines which are made by different agencies pertaining to doing the research. And during that thing, again, while publishing the things, we need to take care that we should not get into the falsification of any kind of data, because it ensures the integrity, credibility, and ethical responsibility of researchers in their pursuit of knowledge. This is related to the integrity you'll be having. You will be getting the credit for whatever you are doing. अगर आप कोई अपना काम कर रहे हैं, रिसर्च कर रहे हैं, तो उसमें whatever good things are coming, the credit goes to you only. और इसमें हमारी ethical responsibility भी है that when we are going to add something to the existing knowledge, we need to be very honest. We should not cheat from here and there, and we should not try to take the credit of other people. Why research ethics is important? It is because here we have to take care of the protection part, pursuing, holding, Upholding and promoting. Protection means here protecting research participants. The ethics safeguard the rights, welfare, and dignity of individuals participating in research studies. So here our aim is to safeguard the rights and welfare of all the individuals whosoever are participating. Means हम उन सब के welfare को save कर रहे हैं जो भी इस research में involved हैं. Ensuring integrity. Ethical conduct maintains the accuracy, reliability, validity of research findings. हमें हर एक चीज को मेंटेन करके रखना है. Whatever results are coming, उसी के अकॉर्डिंग हमें अपने डेटा को वहां पे इंश्योर करके दिखाना होता है. Reliability and validity, all the things as per the analysis of the data. Upholding trust and credibility. Yes, ethical research fosters trust among researchers. If I am conducting some research, if you are going to see that research in future and looking that what work has been done by Dr. Kavita, तो उसके बेस पे there is a process of trust building कि जो काम मैंने किया हुआ है वो सही है. And trust building among the researchers, institutions, and public, and ensuring the credibility of the scientific community as well as the academic community. We have to go side by side by having a good trust among each other. Promoting responsible conduct by doing or by having all the possible good things in the research, we try to have a way of promoting responsible conduct in the research area. Ethical guidelines encourage responsible behavior, accountability, and transparency in research activities. Whatever guidelines are being made for the research, it is nothing but it is giving a direction that how one needs to behave while conducting any research. We are responsible, accountable for the results, and if anything is going or getting deviated, again, I am the responsible person. If plus is coming, I am responsible. If minus is coming, again, we are responsible for that. And transparency should be there. We should not hide the accurate data. Many people are doing such activities also, that they are publishing paper like 2, 3, 4 in a month, which is not possible. And if you want to indulge yourself in good activities, good research, you need to be fair in your own work. So here I would be talking about, after this, I'll be talking about subject-specific ethical issues. I'll be starting this with a story that a lady named Rama, it is an superficial name. She is an aspiring art historian. वो कला इतिहासकार में अपना काम करना चाहती है थीसिस पे, and she is working on exploring the influence of a renowned painter on contemporary artist. कि समकालीन इतिहासकार में किसी प्रसिद्ध चित्रकार के प्रभाव की खोज वो करना चाहती है. तो what she did in her analysis, she includes sections which are copied from published sources without proper attribution and unaware of the ethical implications of plagiarism. She is not aware of the ways that what is plagiarized, what is other issues which can lead when you are taking work of others, or you are copying, just taking from here and there, and you are making it as part of your thesis. So when her work was submitted for evaluation, you can imagine what could have happened in the current scenario. Due to her lack of academic integrity is exposed, leading to severe consequences for academic journey. उसको बहुत ज्यादा consequences face करने पड़े, चाहे आप अनएथिकल वर्क नोइंगली कर रहे हैं या अननोइंगली कर रहे हैं, you are wholly solely responsible for that. So be careful for that. Then if a person is conducting a study on the impact of social media on mental health, then it's in an attempt to prove their hypothesis, the person selectively alter the responses of the survey, leading to skewed results that support their preconceived ideas. Here, what you did, you changed the responses, and whatever ideas you have conceived earlier, you want to apply your results for that to prove your hypothesis. As this kind of research, if gains popularity, then questions arises about the validity of the findings. If you have done very good work by altering the things, definitely later on when people will be using or looking at your research, there can be questions related to the reliability, and ultimately it will challenge the credibility of the entire field of social sciences or the academia. So we need to be very careful. So if I talk about subject-specific ethical issues, these are the general considerations which are related to ethics, which has a set of principles that guide your research design and the practices, how you'll be moving ahead. So it includes voluntarily participation of the people, informed consent that they are actually want to be a part of your research, anonymity that their names will not be disclosed. अगर कोई नहीं चाहता है कि उनके नाम को आउट किया जाए, जैसे हम क्वेश्चनर फिल करवाते हैं या कोई एक्सपेरिमेंट करते हैं, तो many people do not want to disclose their identity. वहां पे हमें कहीं बताना भी नहीं है कि हमने XYZ यूनिवर्सिटी या कॉलेज या पर्सन से डेटा लिया हुआ है. So we need to maintain confidentiality as required. Potential for harm. If this is a scientific research, we need to take care कि किसी को किस तरीके का harm हो सकता है. That should not be there as per the laws existing. And if in social sciences अगर हम कोई ऐसा experiment कर रहे हैं जहाँ पे person अपने को do not feel comfortable in giving responses to the question, that we need to understand. And results communication. Many a times when you are doing any research, people may request you to communicate the results, whatever you are getting. So you need to take you need to have you need to build your trust with those people or the respondents so that they feel like that they can fill your questionnaire easily, and you will not be getting any kind of hurdles while doing or while getting the data. So it's a two-way thing that by getting data from you, the people may learn, you may get the authentic data. And if you are promising them to communicate the things to them in revert, so they'll feel happy that, and they will have a sense of trust on you. So subject special ethical issues need to be taken care of in your mind while doing any research. Here we have 3 sins which are called as 3 cardinal sins to research conduct. FFP. Yes, FFP stands for fabrication, falsification, and plagiarism. What is fabrication? Fabrication is, if I talk about fabrication in Hindi, this is nothing but discussing about the changing or omission of research. So fabrication may, you have falsification, fabrication, and plagiarism. Fabrication, let me talk to you one by one. In general, it is construction and or addition of the data which you have not actually done. And falsification means you are trying to change or omit the research results to support the claims which you have made. तो यहाँ पे falsification को अगर हम हिंदी में बात करें तो किसी असत्य चीज को ऐड कर लेना, इसको हम फर्जीवाड़ा भी बोल सकते हैं. एंड falsification means creating, fabrication means creating your things. आपने एक्चुअल में रिसर्च तो किया नहीं, बट कुछ क्रिएट करके उसमें अपने आप से डाल दिया एंड यू आर सेंडिंग कि ये मैंने काम किया है, और आपने पब्लिकेशन के लिए उसको स्टार्ट कर दिया. तो दिस इज नॉट गुड. प्लेगरिज्म में किसी साहित्य की चोरी करना. साहित्य की चोरी करने में ये सबसे ज्यादा कॉमन फॉर्म ऑफ रिसर्च मिसकंडक्ट है आज के टाइम पे, और इसकी वजह से हमारा जो research world hai, it is getting disappointing, because we should not we should not hide the work which has been already done by others. If I am reading the work done by someone, I need to cite that. So this is I need to give references that these are the people who have already done these things. It can be the self thing also. If I have already done something related to that, वो भी मुझे अपने next research में डालना होगा. So what fabrication in research is? Fabrication involves the creation of non-existent data or results. जो data exist ही नहीं कर रहे हैं, जो results exist ही नहीं कर रहे हैं, मैं उनको अपनी research में डालने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ. So this is the construction and addition of data or the observations which have never occurred while gathering of the data or running the experiment, if it is a scientific experiment. And I am making the claims based on incomplete or assumed results in the form of fabrication. If I am going to make any kind of claim, certainly this is called as the fabrication. I hope this is you people are getting. So fabrication poses serious ethical concerns, which includes misleading scientific community and distorting knowledge. By doing fabrication, what we are doing? We are changing the domains of the knowledge. जो actual में सबको पता होना चाहिए वो ना पता हो करके we are disseminating something else. और इस वजह से the people, those who belong to academia or the scientific community, वो mislead होंगे, उनकी direction जो होनी चाहिए वो ना हो करके different होगी. Then it will result in misallocation of resources and potential harm to the participants. If I am doing fabrication, तो वहां पे I am misusing the resources, मेरे resources waste हो रहे हैं, और जो potential can there are chances कि किसी को harm भी हो सकता है. मेरे वाले research को कोई refer कर रहा है, उसके base पे उसने अपने और कोई results निकाल दिए, तो क्या होगा? वो result भी गलत ही होंगे. तो it is for other people also. और participants से मैंने data कुछ और collect किया है और मैं उसमें से result कुछ और निकाल रही हूँ. तो मुझे फिर डेटा कलेक्ट करने की जरूरत क्या है, पार्टिसिपेंट से मिलने की जरूरत क्या है, जहां पे मैं उन चीजों को यूज ही नहीं कर रही हूँ. तो इट इज अ वेस्टेज ऑफ टाइम, एफर्ट्स एंड मनी. और एंड में जब आपका प्रॉपर इसमें फैब्रिकेशन आ जाता है तो डेफिनेटली इट इज अ थिंग विच इज नॉट गुड इन द एकेडमिया और द रिसर्च. Then it leads to undermining public trust in research and eroding credibility. Yes, अगर इस तरीके के केसेस हमारे सामने आते हैं तो it will be a way जिससे हम पब्लिक के ट्रस्ट को कम करते जा रहे हैं रिसर्च के बारे में. उनको लगेगा रिसर्च कुछ नहीं होता है, ये लोग अपने आप से बनाते हैं, रिजल्ट्स पब्लिश करते हैं और आगे अपना एकेडमिया में एंट्री कर जाते हैं. तो ऐसा हमें नहीं होने देना है. एज अ गुड ह्यूमन बीइंग एंड एज अ गुड रिसर्चर ये हमारी अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है that we need to go by the rules and regulations which are made for the researchers in any of the field. So fabrication in subject-specific research, if I talk about, creating fictional case studies or patient data in medical research. What if it is related to medical? आपने अपने आप से कोई अगर आप social sciences में कर रहे हैं, आपने कोई अपने आप से false case study बनाई और उसको अपनी research में use कर दिया. And if it is related to medical research, आपने पेशेंट्स का डेटा अपने अकॉर्डिंग जो जैसे आपने अपने हाइपोथेसिस और अपना प्री कंसीव्ड आइडियाज आपने जो डाले हुए थे, आप उसके अकॉर्डिंग आपने सोचा कि मुझे ऐसे ऐसे इसके लिए इस तरीके का डेटा चाहिए, एंड यू हैव मेड दैट डेटा. Then inventing archaeological artifacts in archaeological studies. आर्कियोलॉजिकल स्टडीज ने अगर कोई रिसर्च कर रहे हैं तो उसमें आर्टिफैक्ट्स को अपने अकॉर्डिंग मोल्ड कर देना जो कि एक्चुअल में एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं कर रहा है. Then falsely claiming to have conducted experiments or survey in social sciences without conducting any research or survey. You are making any research paper. So there is no use. आपको अपनी knowledge में भी कुछ add नहीं हो रहा है. Besides this, you are wasting the time of the people जो आपके पेपर को रेफर कर रहे हैं, पढ़ रहे हैं, और ओवरऑल जो हमारी रिसर्च कम्युनिटी है, ये एक शेम वाली बात होती है हम सभी के ऊपर if we are doing those things. Then after fabrication cases we have discussed. Falsification in research is the another thing which is one sin to the three cardinal sins related to research. Falsification research means it is involving the manipulation or alteration of data or results according to your convenience, according to your own wish, according to your research questions, your hypothesis. आप अपने डेटा को मैनिपुलेट कर लेते हैं कि मुझे ऐसे रिजल्ट्स चाहिए, या फिर आपका रिजल्ट आ गया है, आफ्टरवर्ड्स आपने अपने रिजल्ट को चेंज कर दिया अकॉर्डिंग टू योर नीड. ये आपका फॉल्सिफिकेशन है एंड इट्स अ क्राइम. वी शुड नॉट गो फॉर एनी काइंड ऑफ फॉल्सिफिकेशन in the research. That's why the UGC has recommended that we should know all these things, that what are the research and conducts in the publication. And you people are getting this workshop of very good height and length, that you'll be getting the understanding of all the things. Then falsification raises significant ethical concerns, which includes misrepresentation of scientific findings and distorting the truth. यहाँ पे आप misrepresent कर रहे हैं अपनी findings को और distort कर रहे हैं अपने according. आपने काम तो किया है, you have gathered data, you have done experimental things, but according to your need, you are altering. Altering means you are changing the data and you are trying to lead to whatever you have already thought in your mind, undermining the reliability and validity of the research. Yes, it will lead to wastage of the things because it is bringing down the level of reliability and validity of, in case of any kind of research. आपके data को nobody is going to say that it is validated, and reliability का तो सवाल ही नहीं उठता है. Then compromising the integrity of the research process. Yes, if we have a thorough research process, by doing these things, what we people are doing, we are compromising the integrity. हम उसको उसकी इंटेग्रिटी को बना करके रख ही नहीं रहे हैं. whatever is being done with the very hard work of several peoples. Do you think research process कोई एक दो दिन में बना होगा? No. ये बहुत लोगों के efforts हैं. After doing a long exercise, the research process has been made. तो अगर मैं फॉल्सिफिकेशन को इसमें इंक्लूड करती हूँ तो डेफिनेटली आई एम गोइंग टू ब्रीच द research process also. So falsification is also related to subject specific research, that if I talk about different subjects, we can manipulate images or data in scientific experiments. Whatever images are coming, according to my need, I am changing the images. Whatever data is being collected, I have done certain experiments. उसमें जो reading आया, रीडिंग आना था 20, मेरे को चाहिए 22, मैंने उसको 22 कर दिया. टेम्परेचर मुझे इसमें करना था 100, मेरा 70 पे रिजल्ट आ गया, तो मैंने वहां पे उसको 70 की जगह पे 100 शो कर दिया. तो व्हाट आई एम डूइंग, आई एम मैनिपुलेटिंग द डेटा एज पर माय ओन विश. Then changing historical records to support a particular narrative in history research. If I am talking about history research, यहाँ पर आप क्या करेंगे कि किसी भी रिकॉर्ड से छेड़छाड़ करना अपने आप में एक गुनाह होता है. तो चेंजिंग हिस्टोरिकल रिकॉर्ड्स टू, आप अपने किसी भी एक्टिविटी को, वॉट एवर इज यू हैव मेड इन योर माइंड रिलेटेड टू हिस्ट्री, आप उसको सपोर्ट करने के लिए आप कहीं से भी डेटा को अपने आप से सपोर्टिव डॉक्यूमेंट्स दे देते हैं. बट अगर आपने कुछ नया निकाला और वो बहुत ज्यादा पॉपुलैरिटी गेन कर रहा है, तो डेफिनेटली देयर आर मेनी पीपल who are sitting there to check whether I have done the correct things or not. Then we may go for misrepresenting statistical analysis in social sciences. Many people nowadays they do not actually want to go for research. I am not, this is just a example I am taking, that few people comes to take admission in PhD, they are doing research, but in case of doing the analysis, they, because they have not learned many things, तो वो क्या करते हैं, अपने statistical analysis को मिसरिप्रेजेंट कर देते हैं, किसी और के काम किए हुए से थोड़ा बहुत देख करके दे ट्राई टू give representation of their own data, which is again unethical and against the rules and regulations or the principles which have been set for doing the research. Then there, along with this fabrication, falsification, there is another thing which is plagiarism. Plagiarism is that without giving, or researcher is not aware that they need to cite the data or the work which has already done by other people. They do not give citation of that, which is not good. So using or representing the work of others is, and you are claiming that this is a work of yours, this leads to plagiarism. So plagiarism refers to the unauthorized use or representation of someone else's work as one's own. आपने किसी के काम को पढ़ा, देखा, उसमें से जो मन किया आपने अपनी रिसर्च में उसको इंक्लूड कर लिया और आपने क्लेम कर दिया कि ये काम आपने किया हुआ है. सो ये सबसे ज्यादा फॉर्म है आज के टाइम पे रिसर्च में की. हम इसको बोलते हैं साहित्यिक चोरी करना, किसी और के काम को अपने काम पे दिखा देना, जो कि बिल्कुल भी सही नहीं है. हमें अपना काम ही अपना दिखाना होता है. Again, plagiarism represents ethical concerns which leads to violation of intellectual property rights and copyright laws. अगर मैं किसी और के काम को अपना दिखाती हूँ तो we have certain laws related to intellectual property rights and copyrights are also there. हमें बहुत ही carefully we need to take care while doing any research. मुझे कभी भी जाने में अनजाने में किसी और के काम को अपना नहीं दिखाना है. अगर मैं कोई एक लाइन भी किसी की पढ़ रही हूँ तो नीचे मुझे उसको साइट करना है, मेरे रेफरेंसेस में उसका नाम आना चाहिए। अगर मैंने डॉक्टर रीना का कोई पेपर इंक्लूड मैंने पढ़ा है उस एंड दैट इज रिलेटेड टू माय रिसर्च, तो उसमें से व्हाट एवर थिंग्स आई एम टेकिंग, या तो मैं डबल कोट्स में उसको डाल करके यूज कर लूं, या उसको पैराफ्रेजिंग भी अगर मैं करती हूँ 1%, तो मुझे नीचे आई हैव टू गिव द रेफरेंस ऑफ दैट पेपर अलोंग विद द राइट नेम ऑफ द ऑथर्स. Then undermining the originality and creativity of research. We are digging down, not the upwards. By doing so, मेरे रिसर्च की क्रिएटिविटी वहां पे कोई नहीं रहेगी. जब मैंने इधर उधर से कॉपी कर लिया, व्हाट न्यू आई हैव डन. क्रिएटिविटी मीन्स समथिंग न्यू एंड you need to something new to the existing sources of knowledge. धीरे धीरे हम सबको थोड़ा थोड़ा ऐड करना होता है कि कुछ नया आ रहा है, so that other people can refer that work. तो क्रिएटिविटी कहाँ से आएगी, ओरिजिनलिटी कहाँ से आएगी? जब हम अपने आप से when we will try to bring new things and to create new things ourselves. And it is a breaching of academic integrity and credibility. इससे we are doing, or it is an offense in the area of the academia, which raise a finger on all the people, those who are part of this. So, dear students and other people, those who are here, we should not indulge into such kind of acts at any cost. Plagiarism related to subject-specific research, like copying of the data. You may go for copy text, ideas, figures from published paper in scientific research. If I'm going to take any of these things, I'm not doing my own work, I'm copying text from somewhere, I'm getting idea of someone else, the person is already doing the research related to that, and I am into a hurry of publishing the paper. So this is against the norms. Using another researcher's fieldwork observations without proper attribution in anthropology studies. It can be in anthropology, it can be in the social sciences also. Like if I'm getting the observations or the data collected from other person, and I'm reanalyzing and doing the same kind of research and bringing some results out of that, this is the part of plagiarism only. इसलिए हम सबको बहुत ही केयरफुल रहना है while doing the research. और हमारे जो अपकमिंग रिसर्चर्स हैं, उन सबको इन सब की नॉलेज होनी चाहिए, ताकि वो अननोइंगली भी इन सब में नहीं पड़े. Reproducing copyrighted images or artwork without permission in arts and humanities research. So you cannot reproduce the images or the work which is copyright. Otherwise, there are several penalties related to these things. So copying, using, or reproducing, all these things are the part of the plagiarism. I hope this is clear to all. If anybody is having any query, please do write in the chat box. I'll take later on, or I can take in between also.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm thankful to Dr. Kavita. I'm thankful to Dr. Kavita for her efforts towards her lecture, her own idea of everything. I need to mention many deep appreciation. I also extend my thanks to all the participants also.
Dr. Reena?
Now the session comes to end. Thanks to all and have a nice day. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, Dr. Reena.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, there are few things which are left. I'm so sorry. I think you have missed this. I need to continue for some.
Okay, ma'am. It's okay.
I was asking for the queries in between.
Okay, okay, no problem, ma'am. I think आपने complete कर लिया इसलिए.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
ma'am. You can continue.
Thank you. After plagiarism, we'll be talking about the types of authorship issues which are there in the research. So authorship refers to the recognition and responsibility of individuals contributing to a research project or the research paper. आपने कोई research paper लिखा, उसमें आप देखेंगे कि whenever the title is there, आप अपना नाम पाते हैं, आपके साथ किसी ने joint work किया है, that person's name will also be there. So author is the person who is actually writing the research after conduction of the research. यहाँ पे आपको recognition मिलती है आपके अपने काम के लिए. So authorship raises ethical concerns including proper attribution and acknowledgement of contributions. आप एक अच्छे author तभी होंगे जब आप properly attribute करेंगे और acknowledge करेंगे contribution of others. आपने अपने पेपर में किसी के भी काम को लिया है तो here you'll be acknowledging each and every person. Ensuring fairness and equity in credit distribution. आप कोई कंजूसी नहीं करेंगे किसी भी तरीके की, जिसके काम को आपने कहीं पे भी पढ़ा है उसको आप क्रेडिट दे दीजिए. और ensure fairness in the analysis, collection and analysis of the data. Then addressing issues of ghost authorship and guest authorship. यहाँ पे ये आपका काम है कि आप अपने साथ किस तरीके के ऑथर्स को वहां पे क्रेडिट एंड रिकॉग्निशन देना चाहते हैं. तो व्हाट आर घोस्ट एंड गेस्ट ऑथरशिप? Guest authorship is adding someone as an author who did not significantly contributed to the research. उसने आपको सिर्फ कभी कभार मिलते जुलते बता दिया कुछ, तो कोई भी significance contribution उसने नहीं किया है. What this kind of authorship is called as guest authorship. तो as an author, this is your responsibility. ऐसे किसी person को आपने credit देना है या नहीं देना है. Then ghost authorship. Ghost authorship is including any individual who made substantial contributions from the author list. कुछ हल्का फुल्का जो आपके total authors हैं उसमें से बहुत ही rarest काम इन्होंने किया है, तो उसमें भी आपको देखना है कि आप इन्हें एज अ ऑथर ले रहे हैं या नहीं ले रहे हैं. क्योंकि कई बार हम क्या करते हैं, जिन्होंने बिल्कुल ही कोई काम नहीं किया हम उनका नाम भी उसमें डाल देते हैं, विच इज अनएथिकल. ना तो एज अ ऑथर मुझे ये काम करना चाहिए, ना ही दूसरे पर्सन को ऐसी अपनी विलिंगनेस शो करनी चाहिए कि भैया मैंने काम तो कुछ नहीं किया है और मेरा नाम आप लिख दीजिए. आजकल रिसर्च फील्ड में आप देखेंगे मेनी पीपल आर डूइंग दैट, दे आर कंट्रीब्यूटिंग नथिंग टू द रिसर्च पेपर्स और द प्रोजेक्ट, बट उनका नाम चला हुआ है, तो सम पीपल थिंक कि उन्हीं के नाम से उनका रिसर्च पेपर वगैरह जो है वो गेयर अप हो सकता है, अच्छे से किसी अच्छे जर्नल में पब्लिश हो सकता है, बट दिस इज नॉट ट्रू. आपका अपना काम बहुत अच्छा होना चाहिए. इट will get recognition. Then ordering of authors, determining the sequence of authors which may impact recognition and credit distribution. आप 3 authors हैं, आपने actual में आपने ही सारा काम किया हुआ है, आप फर्स्ट ऑथर रहना चाहेंगे. ऐसा ना हो कि किसी के इन्फ्लुएंस में आकर के कि पर्सन ने बोला है मेरे नाम की वजह से ये पेपर जो है अच्छे पब्लिकेशन में जा सकता है, आप उसको दे दें. तो इट इज अप टू यू as a key researcher that how you need to determine the sequence, because इससे आपके recognition और आपके credit distribution में effect आता है जब आपका credit evaluation होता है. while applying at different positions or different areas, you will come to know, or you must be having understanding of this, कि you should not take the names of those people as a part of authors जिन्होंने कुछ काम ही नहीं किया है. तो ये हमारा अपना discretion होता है. Then there are certain consequences of ethical violations. Damage to personal and professional reputation. If we are becoming unethical, if we are taking any kind of falsification, indulging ourselves in fabrication or plagiarism, definitely it is going to impact our personal as well as professional reputation. दोनों जगह से ही मुझे काम होता है. रिसर्च इंडस्ट्री में कहीं पे भी अगर वो हाईलाइट हो जाती हैं चीजें, तो people will not consider me as a good researcher. Ethical breaches tarnish researchers' credibility and standing in the academic community. Academic community में भी हमारी बदनामी हो जाती है, वो हमारी इमेज को खराब कर देता है. Legal implications. Plagiarism and copyright infringement can lead to lawsuits and legal consequences. A person who is doing these plagiarized things, उनको इसकी वजह से केस वगैरह भी हो सकता है, जिसकी वजह से लीगल कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस हो सकते हैं. Then loss of funding and career opportunities. If I am indulging any of the kind of this malpractices or misconduct in research, तो definitely it will lead to loss of funding. मैंने किसी प्रोजेक्ट में अगर किसी और तरीके से अपना काम कर दिया, तो जो मेरा फंड होगा वो if उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन तक ये इंफॉर्मेशन पहुंच जाती है, तो definitely they stop the funding. In future also I may not be getting the funding. And career opportunities, yes. If I'll be indulging into such activities, definitely it will be a hindrance in my career. I'll not be getting the better opportunities in future. So ethical violations may result in the loss of research grants and hinder the career advancement. हम जिस लेवल पे होते हैं उससे आगे ज्यादा हम बढ़ ही नहीं पाएंगे अगर हम इस तरीके के unethical थिंग्स में इंडल्ज हो जाते हैं. तो हमें अपने आप को इन सब चीजों से परे रखना है. हमारे जो लॉसेस नहीं होने चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर आप रिसर्च ग्रांट्स लेना चाहते हैं तो आपका काम बोलना चाहिए. देन ओनली यू विल बी एनहांसिंग और यू विल प्रोग्रेस इन योर करियर. हाउ वी कैन प्रिवेंट एथिकल इश्यूज? देयर आर सर्टेन स्टेप्स. फैमिलियराइज, implement, use and establish. Familiarize themselves with ethical guidelines. आपको ethical guidelines पता होनी चाहिए. You need to understand and adhere to ethical guidelines specific to your subject area. आपके अपने subject area में क्या क्या guidelines हैं वो आपको clearly पता होनी चाहिए, उनकी समझ होनी चाहिए. And we need to stick. हमें उनको ध्यान में रखते हुए अपना काम करना है. Then implement rigorous data management. Implement robust data management and record keeping practices to ensure transparency and traceability. जब आप डेटा कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं तो आप अपने डेटा को प्रॉपरली मैनेज करके रखिए और अपने डेटा में ट्रांसपेरेंसी रखिए, ताकि आपके ऊपर कभी भी कोई क्वेरी उठे तो यू कैन शो दैट दिस इज योर ओरिजिनल वर्क एंड यू हैव नॉट टेकन एनीथिंग फ्रॉम एनीवेयर. देन यूज प्लेगरिज्म डिटेक्शन टूल्स. आपको प्लेगरिज्म डिटेक्शन टूल्स के बारे में पूरी नॉलेज होनी चाहिए. यूटिलाइज दोज टूल्स फॉर डिटेक्टिंग दी things that whatever you have taken from the work of others, उसमें आपको clear cut पता चल जाएगा कि इतना work मेरा है और इसमें से this is the work which I have, might be you have taken or you might have referenced. तो unknowingly आप उस work को नहीं देख पाते हैं तो आप टर्न इट इन हो गया, उरकुंड हो गया. देयर आर मेनी सॉफ्टवेयर्स जिससे आप ये पता लगा सकते हो कि मेरे वर्क की ओरिजिनलिटी कितनी है. जब आप अपनी थीसिस जमा करेंगे, जब आप कोई रिसर्च पेपर पब्लिश करते हैं। बहुत सारे इंस्टीट्यूट्स या अच्छे जर्नल्स ऐसे हैं जहां पे आपका ओरिजिनलिटी ऑफ वर्क या प्लेगरिज्म लेवल जो है बिलो 5% होना चाहिए या आपका बिलो 10% होना चाहिए। बिकॉज अगर आप प्लेगराइज वर्क भेजेंगे तो देयर आर चांसेस कि आपका पेपर या रिसर्च वर्क एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं होगा, और अगर हमारा रिसर्च वर्क एक्सेप्ट नहीं होगा तो हमारा अभी तक का किया हुआ सारा टाइम खराब हो जाता है। जब आपने डिटेक्शन टूल से पता कर लिया तो ट्राई टू ओवरकम दी प्लेगरिज्म, आप उसको अपने वर्क के अकॉर्डिंग प्रॉपर सेट कीजिए। ये नहीं है कि उसी वर्क को इधर उधर घुमा करके आपने दोबारा से पब्लिश करने के लिए भेज दिया। तो आपका वर्क जो है वो ओरिजिनल होना चाहिए बिफोर सेंडिंग टू एनी ऑफ द पब्लिशर। देन एस्टेब्लिश क्लियर ऑथरशिप क्राइटेरिया। You need to discuss and agree on authorship criteria and order of author upfront to avoid disputes. अगर आप 4 ऑथर्स हैं, 5 ऑथर्स हैं, आप सब ने मिलके काम किया है, तो बिफोर सबमिशन ऑफ द वर्क आपको अपनी ऑर्डरिंग पता होनी चाहिए। आपको ये पता होना चाहिए अगर कहीं पे मार्क्स काउंट होते हैं तो फर्स्ट ऑथर के कितने हैं, सेकंड के कितने हैं, थर्ड के कितने हैं, या बाद में कितना इक्वली डिवाइड हो जाएगा। पेपर भी डिस्प्यूट होते हैं तो अगेन इट विल रेज अ फिंगर ऑन द इंटेग्रिटी ऑफ ऑल द ऑथर्स। फर्स्ट कह रहा है मैंने ज्यादा काम किया, सेकंड कह रहा है मैंने किया, थर्ड कह रहा है नो। व्हाइल गोइंग फॉर एनी अग्रीमेंट दैट यू आर गोइंग टू राइट अ पेपर, आपको क्लियर कट अपना रोल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी पता होना चाहिए, सो दैट आपको बाद में किसी तरह के कोई भी क्लैशेस ना हो। उससे आपका रिसर्च खत्म हो जाएगा, आपका यू विल फेस प्रॉब्लम in publication of the research also. So ethical review and oversight, institutional, how these ethical things can be reviewed and how they can be taken care of. We have several boards and the bodies which take care of these things. So institutional review boards and research ethics committees play a crucial role in overseeing research ethics. If someone is indulging in that and if some complaint is coming, then there are research committees which takes care and which go and check in depth that whether the things which are being complained are true or not. If it is so, what should be the punishment? There are many cases कि काफी पहले there was a person who was working into laboratory work and it was a renowned laboratory only. उन्होंने किसी और के एक्सपेरिमेंट्स के बेस पे अप्रोक्सीमेटली 25 पेपर्स को पब्लिश कर दिया और बहुत जल्दी they became very renowned for their work. कि वो जो वर्क था इतना ज्यादा इधर उधर उसकी चर्चा होने लगी कि सबको लगा कि व्हाट एग्जैक्टली, एंड व्हेन इट रीच टू द पीपल हु एक्चुअली डिड दैट वर्क, उन्होंने उस रिसर्च वर्क को चैलेंज किया एंड दे मेड अ कंप्लेंट अगेंस्ट दैट। उस टाइम पे वो पूरा डिटेल में निकाला गया एंड द पर्सन वाज फाउंड गिल्टी। तो उस पर्सन को अपनी जॉब भी छोड़ना पड़ा, उस पर्सन का वो रिसर्च वाला काम, प्लस ही वाज परस्यूइंग पीएचडी आल्सो। तो उस दौरान जब उसकी पीएचडी हुई थी तो द पर्टिकुलर यूनिवर्सिटी ने उनके रिसर्च और उनके जो टाइटल था डॉक्टर, दैट ही विल नॉट बी यूजिंग द टाइटल ऑफ द डॉक्टर इन हिज नेम, बट ही कैन कैरी ऑन द रिसर्च। सो इतने ज्यादा सीवियर रिजल्ट्स भी हो सकते हैं by making use of the work of others unethically. Then subject-specific research may require additional expertise from relevant disciplines within the reviewing bodies. So we have subject-specific research committees, and we have many expert people relevant to different disciplines who takes care of while reviewing the things. And when the research journals are there, when somebody is submitting paper to them, they take declaration also, and during the analysis or the analysis of those research papers, they also takes care that whether they have taken care of all the required rules and regulations for submission of the paper. If they found anything, they clearly send a rejection message to those people. And collaborate with experts. There is another solution. If we are confused related to ethics and to good work, we can collaborate with experts and seek guidance from professional societies or organizations specific to the subject area. Like if you are from humanities background, you can collaborate with certain people, those who are of the same background, and you can seek their advice. वो आपको बहुत अच्छे से गाइड करेंगे आप अगर genuinely work करना चाहते हैं. और अगर आप social sciences field से हैं तो definitely there are many expert in your area. आप उनसे connect हो जाइए. आप you try to attend the conferences. There you'll get many ideas and the other things, how you have to start work and how you can write research papers and how you can carry forward your career in the PhD also. आप कैसे pursue PhD कर सकते हैं. All these things can be, you can gain such kind of knowledge in the by becoming the part of the conferences. And like you people are attending this workshop, it will definitely going to add a lot of things to you. तो आपको अपने specific area के experts के बारे में you need to dig out. आपको पता लगाना पड़ेगा कि कौन है. You can write mail, you can communicate through any other form of medium, and you can go ahead by seeking their advice. Definitely ये जो सारा कुछ unethical things है, definitely you may come out of this, or you will never be part of such kind of things. So nothing is impossible. Good research is good for the health, good for the society, good for the country. Because if we are going to get all the things better, definitely it is giving good to the generation which are upcoming. हमारे work को कौन refer करेगा? हमारे बाद वाले researchers. तो if we are doing something good, definitely वो भी उस काम को अच्छा करेंगे और सही डायरेक्शन में जाएंगे. और अगर हम इधर उधर से मैनिपुलेशन और ये सब करके करेंगे तो what will happen? हमारा काम भी खराब होगा और दूसरे का भी हम खराब कर रहे हैं. Then another thing कि if we see country wise, we need to take ourselves up so that we can be good, we can be called as a good country among the good research. तो बहुत कम countries ऐसी हैं जिनका नाम आपका जाना जाता है that they are actually doing good in the research. So we as a citizen of some country or some part of any organization, ये हमारी अपनी responsibility है कि हम अच्छे से अच्छा काम करें ताकि किसी भी तरीके की problem ना हो. So with all these things, I want to say that subject-specific research presents unique ethical challenges related to fabrication, falsification, plagiarism, and authorship. In our own areas, subjects, we definitely, everybody has certain challenges, and we need to identify that what is to be avoided so that a good research can take place. Then researcher must be aware of these issues. What are the different issues which we have discussed? This which other resource persons have discussed, that what we need to do, what we should not to do, where one author resource person today discussed that we should not pay money for publications. Yes, this should be known to us, then only we can take care of. And adhere to ethical guidelines to maintain integrity and credibility. This is our responsibility कि हमें अपने उन guidelines को follow करना है. They are not just to read, but they are just definitely to implement while conducting the research, so that हमारी integrity and credibility बनी रहे और हमें हर जगह पे एक अच्छे researcher के आंखों से देखा जाए. Then by upholding ethical standards, researchers contribute to the advancement of knowledge in their respective fields. If you people are upholding all the ethical standards, it means you are a true researcher who is contributing for the advancement of the knowledge in your respective area. If I am into social sciences, this is my responsibility that I have to follow the standards honestly. I have to work honestly, and I need to contribute in the best way to the जो reservoir of knowledge है उसमें थोड़ा थोड़ा हम लोग add करेंगे, then it will become a lot of knowledge which can be utilized by other people. So these are some of the parts which I have talked about, that we should not indulge into the subject specification, subject specified things which can lead to fabrication, falsification, or plagiarism. And we need to take care of that, to whom we have to give the title of the authorship and what should be the ranking of that. हमें किसी को भी पका करके नहीं खिलाना होता है while doing the research. And as a good researcher, this is my responsibility to teach others that how research can be done. तभी दूसरा पर्सन भी efforts लगाएगा. I hope the things are clear to you people.
Yes, ma'am.
Any queries?
I think no, ma'am. No one is responding. But
Thank you, everyone. And thanks to the university and the authorities, those who have conducted such a good event for you people. This is a workshop which will be adding a lot to you people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For delivering such a nice lecture. And thanks all the participants also. Now the session comes to an end. Thanks to all and have a nice day. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.